Well, hello, bakers. How are y'all? I am so confused. I was going through some of the comments of you know who, and they just think that she's beautiful. One of them even said, and she's so beautiful and has the eye of a real photographer. You see, she put on her wigs. Kind of like when you try and put lipstick on a pig. You put a wig on the Lori Beth. And so now that she's gotten all these new compliments, she sees that it's a whole new crowd that don't know about her previous wig adventures. So that only means one thing. She's going to pull out all of her wigs and start wearing them again and start acting like the wig expert and trying to cut the wig's hair and color them and act like she's basically the best stylist that's ever occurred anywhere ever, because she'll start talking about, how, to develop this color and do that and that. She doesn't know anything. She knows nothing. She had a job by default as a receptionist at a beauty salon. And we all know how well her jobs work out and how long they are. But basically, when she gets the jobs for 2 weeks, she loses them fast because she acts like she knows more than the owner of the business, all of the corporate people in the business. Just basically acts like she's doing them a favor because she used to be the real wolf of Wall Street, and basically due to a series of unfortunate events, she's forced to work like the other lowly peons around her, as she calls them, and acts like she's better than and knows everything and starts talking out of her area of, I would say, expertise, but she just doesn't know what she's talking about ever on anything. So I went and I started looking at who these women are that compliment her. And it's quite a vision. I mean, just do it yourself sometime. Just kind of look and click on who's saying this so you can kind of consider the source, and then you'll be like, whoa. But then you got freaking Irma, who has held LBL in her clutches all these years. And number one, Irma was the ugliest baby alive. Irma put a picture of her looking like friggin', I don't know what I would do if I birthed something that looked back at me like that out of the crib. Number one, she's got these eyes that look like a couple pieces of coal. And the way that she talks and loves on LBL, one would infer that they are involved. But when you look closer, you see that they've never met in person, but LBL did indeed send her a gift once of her own essence, her own scent, and Irma said, "Oh, my birthday has came early this year, and your scent is so sexy." And then you go back and you look, and LBL was crafting her crap back on a towel with animal droppings. And so you would think Irma would get grossed out, but then you look further into Irma's and you find out that she has a penchant for collecting dog hair, kind of as a keepsake of her dogs and her friend's dogs, and when one of her friend's dogs died, she gifted her with a little keepsake of the dead dog's fur that she found on the friend's roof that a bird had been making a nest out of. I don't know what to say about that. I really don't, other than she might be one that makes a dog hair sweater ultimately. I don't know. Okay, I mean, I was like gagging like that when I was like looking at this. Can you imagine being gifted, like if you did have the loss of your animal and then somebody brings you this freaking, trinket of its hair? Well, that's Irma for you. Now, Irma makes her own dog food, or made her own dog food for this one dog that she had. And it looks like Irma actually does really care for her dogs, okay? So that's good. So then why does she praise Lori for abusing the living hell out of her dogs? You can't compare making your own dog food and then not even making it in a crock pot, because the vet said that the crock pot food holds in the fat, and so she's got to make her meatballs on the stove for her dog. How do you compare that to LBL, who will never take her dogs for a walk, never potty train them, have them shit and piss all over whatever tiny apartment she's gotten on Section 8 from the taxpayers, never take them for a walk, never give them good food, only what the Dollar Tree has, and that is bones that have been recalled and have metal shards, never giving them decent toys, never making them food because she doesn't make her own food. And you want to praise somebody like that when you damn well know better? What's wrong with you, Irma Brooks Menchaca, idiot? And then, oh yes, she thinks she has the most petite wrists and everything. It's just regular size wrists. There's nothing special about Irma's wrists. And so why does Irma praise LBL? No matter how bad LBL abuses her mother, her son, strangers with a lazy eye in a cafe. No matter how much she talks about abusing people, animals, exploiting others for money and drugs, Irma loves her and supports her. What the hell is wrong with her? Like, honestly, Eric Erickson said that all that anybody needs is one person to love you unconditionally, to feel loved. And that's what enablers like Irma are doing to the nut job. Okay? And it needs to stop. It's like she has a whole new crowd, obviously, that don't know about her wig, so obviously they don't know about her pattern of animal exploitation, animal hoarding, animal abuse. And her new narrative is that the animal police got called because she's a yeller, because she was being too loud with her animals, so animal control got called. It's not true. It's not true at all. And she went and euthanized Bella before anybody could get animal services there, because the actual calls were for Bella. And because everybody saw her kick, throw, otherwise manhandle Bella. And so that's when the actual calls were there. But by the time they came, they, just looked into Pom Pom's death rattle. But, again, the animal control guy came in and there was a pass or fail, and she got a pass, basically.